Hello and welcome back once again to Competitive Casuals. I am Flipside.
I am Boneyard.
And we make up this duo. We are here to poorly commentate on esports, share our ranked experiences from down in bronze to platinum, and this week, we will be talking about Apex Legends. But first, Overwatch 2 dropped its first event this week. It is the Halloween terror that has been around for the last 6 years. However, it comes with a new twist this year, the Wrath of the Bride new PvE mode. I wasn't quite sure what to expect going into this new PvE mode.
I was expecting the same. I was expecting a reskin of the previous mode.
I wasn't particularly hopeful that something new was going to come down the pipeline for this first event, but something did.
And did big.
The Wrath of the Bride is honestly a huge glow up for the Junkenstein mode.
Very much so. Very much.
Remember, we got into the game last night, and we booted up the new Junkenstein mode, Wrath of the Bride. We were super confused by how it started. We were all in different parts of the map. I didn't know where he was. I didn't know where our other two teammates were. All I saw was this breakable door in the front, and I was like, okay, that's new. That's a nice little flavorful introduction.
Definitely.
I realized everyone was, literally in other parts of the map. All throughout that first capture point on Eichenwald.
And that was very interesting and scary all at the same time.
It's really difficult when you don't know what to expect. And when it immediately defies what expectations you had, really adds a mysterious spin to it.
Yes.
It's like, if this is new, what else has changed?
Yeah, and boy howdy was there a lot of change. Lot.
So, and I remember, as we were going through each part of the game mode, I remember being delightfully surprised going into the tavern, actually having it be more like a D&D tavern meeting place.
Yeah. And a lot of the big difference in this one is you actually have to do stuff. You're not just you have to listen to a radio or find a key or find a secret door or something to that effect, instead of just running through a bunch of bots that are coming at you. Which was a nice, pleasant...
Well, I do ultimately expect more from the Overwatch 2 PvE that they are releasing next year. I will say that it was a delightful little appetizer for what might be coming down the pipeline.
Oh, very excited about what could possibly be coming with the PvE.
And I'll admit, the new PvE mode is on the more simplistic side. It doesn't ask you to do anything too crazy.
No.
But it has its own strengths, and I think for a limited time mode, it satisfied every one of my expectations that I didn't even know I had.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you. I didn't know I had these expectations, and they were definitely met or even exceeded. Because like I said, my expectation was just a reskin of the same old thing that's been the last 6 years. So you could have given me a free cheeseburger with the old mode, and I'd have been, yay.
It was a really trippy experience because it's Eichenwald. And as you're going through it, you know it's Eichenwald. You recognize all the little places on Eichenwald.
Right.
At the same time, it was like I was going through a new map.
Absolutely.
The way the mode snakes you through Eichenwald is something I didn't expect to see in a PvE mode.
Yeah.
Especially a mission mode like this. You had the Archives missions, but those were just leading you through the level.
Yeah, this was a little different than that. I mean, you're still going through the level, but it's a little different. It feels different.
But on the Storm Rising and the Retribution events, you're just taking the path backwards.
Right.
Or forwards.
Yeah.
That the payload takes.
Yes. This wasn't really the case.
It really helped me to see Eichenwald in a new light and almost forget that I was actually on Eichenwald.
Yeah. I didn't... There were times... even now that I've played it a few times, there are times where just like, wow, this is just a cool castle, game in a cool castle, and it doesn't really look like I can roll.
And going with the idea that it wasn't a complete reskin of the event, we got new bosses.
Right.
That, you might have seen coming if you were playing Overwatch the last couple of years. When those skins came out, you might have said, oh, Gargoyle Winston, where's the Gargoyle Winston addition to Junkensteins Revenge? Or the Marionette Echo Doll.
Or the Banshee Moira. The Bride Sombra for what it's named after,
And it was really cool to see those actually come to fruition in a brand new mode, no less. And I gotta say, it was a really, really intense fight sometimes.
Later, we're going to work on, with the expert level, and probably never hit the legendary level, but we'll work on the expert level. The hard level was pretty hard.
The hard level was pretty difficult, and I was not ready for the kind of challenge it posed. Like, it wasn't the most difficult thing in the world.
No.
But at the same time, it was much harder than I was anticipating. I don't remember, Retribution or Storm Rising being that difficult.
No, because they really weren't. They had some hard characters in there. But, as far as overall, it was not a super intense. This, with the Winstons in there, the Gargoyle Winstons, having to do battle with them and jumping and doing Winston things, made it a lot more difficult than, per se, a Retribution. The Winstons added a lot to it, especially its character that you know. And like in Retribution, I believe, where you got to play against some of the Talon bots or whatever, like the big tank bots and whatnot.
Yeah.
You don't really know them, It felt cool because you know who Winston is.
And you know the abilities.
And you know his abilities. And having to fight against two of them at once, who were kind of ultra jacked up to begin with, because they're...
Yeah.
Makes it really fun and a little more difficult, but really fun to play in that mode.
And on that, the enemy AI, while not super complex...
No, but it is way more outstanding. Shit. We're moving. We good?
Yep.
All right. Sorry for the abrupt scenery change. As we live in a tropical rainforest, it started raining on us very hard. So we had to move inside. So, on that note,
an important thing down here is flexibility.
Must be flexible.
I believe we were talking about the AI of the new event.
Yes.
Which, well, still rather on the dumber side of things, at least for these Omnics. I must say I was rather shocked when I came across the first blue zombie Omnic.
Oh, yes. The ones that shoot at you.
And it actually started shooting at me.
Not in your direction.
I was very, very shocked to see that, and I almost died as a result. But, the Winston AI felt like it was an improvement over...
Oh, big improvement. Big improvement.
Like the Reaper AI or the Symmetra AI from Junkensteins.
It felt like there was almost an actual person playing it, like a low level, like my skill level of player playing Winston.
And it was crazy because there was one Winston. And you're like, okay, I see one Winston. And then another one just decides to jump on you and mess everything up.
Yes.
Because now there's two bubbles and two jumping Winstons and just dancing around the battlefield. Let's say the Summoner AI shocked me a bit.
Yeah.
That's the most easy comparison to have, given the Summoners in the original Junkensteins mode.
Yeah.
And the AI from that to that, from Summoner 1, we'll call her, to Summoner 2 in Wrath of the Bride, was really shocking. The walls weren't just placed.
No, they were
They were like deliberately placed in such a way to be an actual nuisance.
Yes.
Instead of how they were in Junkensteins Revenge.
And same with the turrets.
Yeah, those turrets have been working out.
They sure weren't as big of a deal as they are in this one.
I was... There were times when I was like, oh, I was caught up in some turrets, and I couldn't really, like, get my mind about how to actually kill them for a second.
Oh, true.
I was like, I wasn't expecting them.
So I'm going to say maybe there weren't turrets in the... God, maybe there... I'm just... Anyways. Yeah, the summoner AI was...
I think the in the castle section was probably the best part of the entire mode.
Yeah, I agree. Well, my favorite part was the part where we had to go against the echoes, where it was like that
like dream sequence.
Yeah, that dream sequence kind of. That was really solid. That was fun. It was a good addition, to things, and
it really wasn't something I was expecting either.
No. It's almost to the point of it almost doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Because it's so different to what you've just played up to that point.
Yeah.
And then you play that, and then after that point, it kind of, but I guess it kind of goes with, it's kind of a dream sequence, because she kind of says, or like the narration is kind of it, messes with your mind. So, but that's one of my favorite parts of it, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a really, really cool section, and the actual arena you fight the echoes in was really cool too, because you could get on like those bookcases.
Yeah, it's like bookcases and clocks, and you had like the sounds of the clocks, and you're running in between bookcases or on top, or yeah, that was quite the interesting section of the map. Which leads me to a question I'm going to ask people out here. If anybody knows, put it in the comments. The times on the clocks. Did you research that?
I didn't see anything about it.
It's so weird because all the clocks in game, no matter what map you're on, are either straight up 4 o'clock or 4 minutes after 2 o'clock. So if you know, please let me know. I would appreciate it.
I've just resigned myself to thinking it's just a reused texture.
Fair, but it's just it just seems like such a random number, that it's not random, 4 minutes after 2 o'clock.
It does seem almost too coincidental.
And that's like on every single clock on any map of the game. Like on any map. It just seems like, did you really phone it in and just use one time? Or is there a significance? I think there's a significance. Otherwise, it wouldn't be on every clock in every map. Because you could just do a random.
Yeah. And that's a fair point.
That you could just do a random clock. Anyway, off topic. Sorry.
But that does bring us to our time in the castle. And getting into the castle was an interesting one. As you're funneled through corridors, it really makes the castle seem bigger than it actually is.
Oh, it really does. I mean,
It was fun running through some redecorated set pieces from the Eichenwald map, while being forced to play it in an unorthodox way.
Yeah.
The Sigma Ghost was pretty adrenaline-inducing.
Oh, yeah.
Because he just fucking comes out and murks you, and comes out of nowhere. It's like, oh shit, Sigma Ghost with a deadly purple spirit aura,
and it takes you down quick.
That was the Sigma Ghost. The Sigma Ghost was something else.
Yeah,
and having to actually run from it for a little while was. It just doesn't let up. It follows you until a certain point, and then it disappears. It's not like a one and done thing.
No. Once it appears, it is there till the end of the game in one way or another.
One thing I really liked about the design is that it funnels you into areas that would be favorable to the mini bosses.
Yeah.
you're in a really tight corridor when you fight the first bastion, and you don't have many options from there to go.
No. There's like one little room to duck into.
And in the bride's room, it's just big enough to where you can dodge the EMP, but still tight enough and open enough that a couple of us are going to be hit by the EMP when it comes.
Oh, for sure. For sure. There's no way you won't be.
And the bride fight itself had a very simple gimmick of her going to different control panels.
Right.
But it was refreshing compared to, like, the original Junkensteins modes where they just existed and fought you.
Yeah. In one little area for the entire 10 minutes or whatever the mode was. You are literally in the exact same. There is no other where to go. It's just they're going to come from here, here, or here. You're here. It was kind of like a tower defense type of thing. And, it was fun for like the first time you played it. But after 6 years of it being the same,
But now the glow up, where Sombra could be anywhere.
Yeah.
Like there was a point where there were several control panels in the back and out of the way, and that she might appear at, and that was a nice twist that I wholly welcome.
I mean, I've played it quite a bit, and I'm not bored with it yet. Like last year, I played Junkenstein as much as I played this, and that was it. I stopped playing it because it's the same old thing we've had for years.
This new mode really took it to 11, in my opinion.
Yeah. Big time. Big time.
And as I've mentioned before, I do think the expectations for the main PvE is still significantly higher than what we got in the Wrath of the Bride. But if this is anything to go on, I think there's reason to be excited for the PvE.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm really excited for it. After seeing this, all the work they put in on this, I'm really excited to see what the PvE has to offer when it's released, for sure.
Conclusion, it was a great mode.
Very good.
And I look forward to playing more of it over the next couple weeks.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Maybe I'll even scrape together enough people and try a legendary run or two. Definitely not going for rank 1 on that one, or Deathless. That seems to be a bit out of my skill set.
Way out of my
and my communication set, for that matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Likewise. Yeah. But overall, I believe it's just a really good mode, and I'm very impressed.